Journaling, the activity that claims to be a magic solution to life's biggest problems. Feeling anxious? Try journaling. Problems at work, school, or home? Journaling will help. Not sure what to do with your life and how to overcome the sense of overwhelming dread, fear, and the impending doom that comes along with the uncertainty of living in today's modern world? Just journal about it, and all your problems will just magically disappear. Wow, thanks Adam, I feel so much better now. But if you've ever tried journaling before, then you know that there are some challenges and struggles that go along with it that can make the whole process a whole lot less fun and productive than you might have been promised. Challenges like not knowing where to start, not knowing what to write, not to mention all of the fear and self-doubt and second-guessing yourself every step of the way. Yay, journaling! That's why I'm going to break it down for you step by step and show you exactly where to start, what to focus on, and what to do next so that journaling becomes the single greatest experience of your entire life. Okay, that might be a bit much, but at the very least, journaling is an incredibly simple and very powerful tool to help you gain mental clarity and manage stress and improve your overall mental well-being. All good things. So we're going to do this together in 3 phases, starting with phase 1, the freestyle. Open the pages of my journal, I can't sleep, must be... Whether you're brand new to journaling or are a seasoned journalist, one of the best places to start or jump back in is with freestyle journaling. Also known as stream of consciousness journaling, this process became popular thanks to The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and the practice of doing what she calls morning pages, which is literally just opening up a blank page and then writing down whatever comes to mind. That's it! Write down whatever you're thinking. And if you're not thinking anything and nothing comes to mind, then write down how you're not thinking anything and nothing's coming to mind. The only rule is to just keep your pen or fingers moving. Now, the suggestion given when writing morning pages is to write 3 full pages first thing in the morning. But I usually find that's just a bit much for me on most days, so I prefer to set a timer for about 15 minutes and just see how much I get out. What I find most interesting about this process though is just how valuable it is. It's amazing how much clarity I get on my thoughts and my ideas and my beliefs and my values and my goals just by doing a giant mental brain dump onto the page. And maybe more importantly, just how much better my mind works throughout the rest of the day by kind of clearing out all the gunk and garbage that's built up in there. There's a lot of stuff up there. It's also one of the best ways to get started with journaling or to restart a habit that you might have let slip, as it's pretty easy and simple and there are no rules or guidelines. Just keep the pen moving. Keep your fingers moving if you're typing this out digitally. Then, once you've been doing that for a little bit, or you're looking for a more structured or guided way to approach your journaling sessions, well, it's time to move on to phase 2, building blocks. When it comes to journaling methods and strategies and frameworks, you've got a lot to choose from, like way too many. I mean, there's reflective journaling and gratitude journaling and creative journaling and travel journaling and
2 hours later,
dream journaling and bullet journaling, and the list just goes on and on. This is why I want to introduce you to a few different methods or blocks that I've found work best for me, so you can try them on for size, see how they fit and feel, and see which ones you like best, which is going to be crucial for the next phase in the process. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's start with the first block, the classic gratitude journal. Article after article, study after study have repeatedly shown how gratitude journaling can make you happier and healthier. Even smarter. And one of the best things about gratitude journaling is that it doesn't take a whole lot of time in order to get a whole bunch of benefits out in return. All you need to do is at the start of each day, just write down 3 things that you're grateful for. This could be big things like your friends or your family or your health, or smaller things like the coffee that you had earlier in the day, the fact that you've got a fun appointment or date night coming up, or pretty much anything else you can think of. Then, if you're looking for a few extra bonus points, at the end of the day, look back over your day and try to find at least one thing that was good about that day, something that you can reflect on and be grateful about. And if you're looking for even more bonus points, then you can also write something that you're looking forward to tomorrow, which is going to prime you to be in a better state when you wake up in the morning. Try this out for a couple weeks and I can guarantee that people around you are going to start seeing and noticing a positive change in your attitude and your outlook. Okay, next block. Goal setting. Nobody starts a new business, becomes a millionaire, or loses 20 pounds and gets in the best shape of their life by accident. Successful people have goals, and super successful people write these goals down and review them every single day. Just like with gratitude journaling, well, your goals can be big or small or a combination of them both. But by writing them down and reviewing them every single day in your journal, well, it keeps you focused and on track and motivated and able to track your progress towards things that are actually important to you. And if you want to make your goals even more powerful and more likely to come true and actually be achieved, then you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this next block, which is the Winner's Bible. The Winner's Bible was written by a cognitive neuroscientist named Dr. Carey Spackman and was originally designed to transform the performance of world-class athletes and corporate executives. But even if you don't consider yourself a world-class athlete or a CEO of a mega corporation, you can still use it too to get amazing results. Dr. Spackman explains that permanent change requires both the logical and the emotional circuits of your brain to be rewired, which is why this section of your journal is designed to evoke emotion through the use of images and stories and visualization. Now appreciate, this does kind of look like a vision board, but this isn't law of attraction, The Secret kind of stuff. Rather, what you're doing is tuning into the part of your brain known as the reticular activating system to be on the lookout for clues, tips, and strategies that are going to help move you closer to your goals. And the more emotional that you can make this, the better. So think of what you want, find images that depict that, tell a story around the image, and try to look at it every single day. Next, make a list of heroes and mentors that you look up to. Again, images are great to use here as well, as a picture truly is worth 1,000 words, and it's going to help you better understand and adopt certain aspects and traits and styles associated with the people that you look up to. Then lastly is an exercise called the perfect day.
Just a perfect day.
Where you essentially write out all of the elements of what would be your ideal and most perfect day from the moment you wake up till the moment you go to bed. But here are some tips to help make this even more effective. First, make it a Tuesday. Why Tuesday, you ask? Because this helps you avoid structuring every day like a weekend, where your goal might just be to sit around and relax and do nothing all day. The key here is to write out what would be a perfect average day, not some crazy extreme, but something that you can see yourself living regularly, all the time. Next, don't be afraid to change up your perfect day over time. This is your journal after all. And what you think sounds absolutely amazing today is likely going to change in a few weeks or a few months or a few years, especially if you had to actually live this every single day. And lastly, don't be too realistic. I mean, it's okay to dream big and live a little here. So don't be afraid to write down what you actually truly want. I mean, when would you wake up? Where would you wake up? What would you eat? Who would you eat it with? Would you be at home? Would you be traveling? What would you work on? What would you do for fun? What would you be wearing? Basically, everything that goes into creating the perfect day. And then make sure to review this regularly. Next block, the visual journal. A visual journal can be a standalone thing, or as I like to use it, a part of my overall journaling process. This is because there are some thoughts and ideas and emotions that just plain old work better as sketches or visual diagrams or full-blown artistic creations. In fact, many of my very best ideas have come from visual journaling. They're usually not pretty. They're certainly not complicated, and they're often rarely more than a simple flowchart or maybe a mind map. But there's something really powerful about not limiting yourself to just using words in order to express your thoughts and ideas in your own journal. I mean, again, this is your journal. You're free to do with it as you like. So feel free to use pencils or pens or markers or crayons or paint or whatever you like. Though my personal preference is the Micron Fineliner pen, which just so happens to be the usual tool of choice for the bullet journal. So let's talk about that next. The bullet journal, or Bujo as it's sometimes referred to, is a cross between a productivity tool and an artist's dream. It can be minimal or maximal, it can be simple or sophisticated, and can ultimately be customized to be whatever you want it to be. But the premise of it is actually quite simple, which is to use bullet points to collect and arrange ideas and notes and events, rather than using it for longer form journaling. Though again, you can do that if you want. The way I like to use bullet journaling is as a task and to-do list more than anything else, using the original bullet journal key as a way to keep track of things. For example, I use a bullet to write down a task. Cross it out when it's complete. Use a dash for notes and an open circle for events or meetings that I can then fill in after the meeting has taken place. But that's just me, and a quick scroll through Instagram or Pinterest or YouTube is going to give you more bullet journal ideas and creativity and inspiration than you could have ever thought possible. What's neat about the bullet journal concept though, and the reason that I keep coming back to it regularly, even though I don't stick to it religiously, is that it allows me to quickly look back over my previous week in order to see what I did and what I accomplished and where my time went, which is incredibly useful for this next block, which is the weekly review. My weekly review process is something that I've compiled from a number of different sources over the years, and is something that I do, wait for it, that's right, weekly.
Oh my God! Wow!
typically on a Friday afternoon, basically as I'm getting ready for the weekend ahead. It's a combination of a shutdown checklist as well as a review and reflection period that allows me to essentially look back over everything and make sure I didn't miss anything and get everything out of my head, clearing up mental space for new ideas and new insights and new inspirations to come up over the weekend and for the week ahead. So here's how it works. First, I take a look back over the week to see where my time went. What tasks did I work on or push forward? What was going through my mind during my journaling sessions? What ideas or opportunities or concerns or challenges did I have or did I have to go through? And most importantly of all, did my activities reflect the goals that I had and actually moved me forward towards them? Now I appreciate this is heavy stuff. And the first time you do this, you may not like what you see, but it's an important tool to help build self-awareness and accountability. So don't shy away from this. After that comes a quasi-gratitude/review session where I'll list out the top 3 to 5 activities from the past week. This is helpful to again remind myself of what's actually important, as well as to confirm that I actually did get something done, rather than having the feeling at the end of the week like you just completely wasted your entire week away. It also provides a little more clarity for the week ahead on some areas or tasks or activities that you might want to allocate more time to or make sure that you focus on. Then comes planning. And a question I like to ask myself here is, if I could only work 2 hours a day, but had to maintain my current income, what would I do? This question helps make sure that I'm focusing on my most important activities first. Then I list out all of my most important tasks and the things that I want to accomplish next week. Then I take those tasks and I decide if I need to break them down into smaller sections so that I can make measurable progress each day, which just so happens to lead me to this next block, the power list. Of all of the blocks that I've covered so far, if your goal is single-mindedly focused on productivity and success and achievement, then the power list is for you, my friend. It's a concept that's been called many names over the years, but the principle behind it has remained unchanged. And it continues to be one of the most effective productivity, success, and achievement tools available today. So here's how it goes. Write down everything you need to. I mean, everything. All the tasks, to-dos, meetings, check-ins, reports, whatever, get it all out. Then rank it all from most important at the top all the way down to the least important at the bottom. You still with me? Good, because this next part is the hard part. Because it's here that you're going to force yourself to only work on the top 3 things on your list until they're done before moving on to anything else. This is powerful because you're not rewarded in life for the amount of work you do, the amount of energy you expend, or the effort you invest. Nope, the only thing that matters is the results that you get, and you simply can't get results with a string of half-baked, incomplete projects lying around all over the place. Now, if one of the things on your list is something huge, like say building a house or starting a business, then you're gonna need to break it down into smaller parts. Ideally parts that you could complete in a day, and then just tackle them one after another. And doing just 3 important things a day is all it takes to completely change your life forever. And if you'd like even more tips on how to do more, feel better, and boost your mental clarity even further, then you're definitely going to want to check out the video I've got linked up right here, which is going to walk you through the 10 habits of the world's most successful people. So make sure to check that out now, and I'll see you in there in just a second.